Fancy seeing you drifting by. Why don't you float on over here with me and let me keep you company? Yeah, it's good to have a break in nature. Oh, I love the sun rippling over the water, the sounds of the water rippling all around. It's just so refreshing out here. Well, let me keep you company. Hey, why don't I talk your ear off while you're floating around? Well, I've been researching the origins of different words, and I just want to throw some fun facts at you. You can, swim on back to shore and tell everyone all about your favorite parts. Anyways, well, alright, here we go. Let me tell you about some of the stuff I found out. Alright, so, why is this stash of surplus money called a slush fund? The term slush began as a sailor's reference to the grease from the cook's galley, which was used to lubricate the ship's masts. When the voyage was over, the surplus grease was sold, and the money was put into a slush fund to be shared by the enlisted men. By 1839, when a ship returned to port, any surplus supplies or battle-damaged equipment was also sold, and the money added to the profits from the grease in the slush fund. I guess because grease is slush. I always thought of grease as like melted snow mixed with mud, but I guess it would look the same color, wouldn't it? Be just as slick and slippery. Alright. I don't know, that's a fun one. Okay. Why do we say we're boning up when studying or preparing for an examination? I've never heard this term, and I think it would be interpreted by this world a little differently than what they might have thought back in the day. But hey, who am I to judge history? Let's take a look why. The phrase boning up comes from a British teacher of Greek and Latin who wanted to make life easier for his students. With that goal in mind, he translated the Greek and Latin classics into English and then had them published and distributed within his classroom. His name was Mr. Bon, B-O-H-N, and his grateful students called this new, speedier method studying the classics called boning up. Boning, which became boning. Bon. You can see how that could happen. Alright. Why is cheating on corporate accounting ledgers called cooking the books? Interesting. I've actually heard this in an old movie, like mafia movie from New York. No. Cooking the books. What? Well, we launder money and we cook books. Okay, let's find out why. If someone is using creative accounting, he's usually breaking the law. And so he needs someone with sophisticated bookkeeping skills comparable to those of a skilled chef who can prepare a dish so artfully that no one can tell how it was done. If authorities discover that the books have been cooked and criminal charges are laid, it is said that the accountant and the employer have cooked their own goose. You cooked the books, you've cooked your goose, we caught you, you're in jail now. Bye-bye. That's so hilarious. So hilarious. So peaceful here today. Don't you love it? Yeah. It is so nice. It's fresh air, soft sunlight, cool water, cool company. Yeah. Okay. There's something else I came across. What do we mean when we say someone's from the wrong side of the tracks? I'm going to assume railroad tracks that cut through a town. Okay. In the 19th century, railway tracks usually ran right through the center of town, and it was the prevailing winds that determined which was the right or wrong side to live on. As the town developed, the wealthy built homes on the cleaner, windward side of the tracks, while industrial development and the working class were confined to the other, dirtier side. You think back then there was like a lot of steam engines, there was like wood and coal burning furnaces, a lot of soot. A lot of soot would be in the air. To be from the wrong side of the tracks meant that you were from a poor or working class family. Yeah, and they're whole mill towns and things like that, you know, factory towns. Okay, so why do we say either fish or cut bait? I do hear about that one. When we mean make up your mind. Fish or cut bait? Make up your mind. There are two main jobs on a fishing boat. One is to cut bait, which means to prepare or cut junk fish for a hook. We used to have to use our fingernails to cut a worm in half, so we'd have more than one piece of bait for our fish. Just saying. Gross. But that's what we did. Oh, and this junk fish would be put on a hook. It would be called chum, which only makes me think of Jaws and all the bloody meat thrown in the water to make him come up and scare the bejeebies out of you before he ate you all. Okay, so chum, which is dumped in the water to attract other bigger fish. The second job is to do the actual fishing. So the admonition, either fish or cut bait, doesn't mean either fish or cut your line. It means make up your mind and decide which job you're going to do, and just do it. For the Nike logo, just do it. Just get and pick something and just do something. Please, just do something. You know, people like that. So funny, so funny. Okay. What are we doing when we gild the lily? To gild the lily. This sounds like a Shakespearean thing, but I'm sure I've come across it at least once in a movie somewhere and had no idea. I just felt like it was something dirty. So, I don't know. But let's find out. To gild something is to cover it with a thin layer of gold. Ooh. Gild my everything because I want to cash that in and get some moolah. Alright, so like gold leafing. To gild it is to put gold leaf on it. I love that. Okay, because the lily is already in a state of natural perfection, gilding it would only be excessive. The expression is a misquote from Shakespeare's King John. Ooh, I wasn't all wrong there. I took a stab at it. And so did King Lear. But anyways, alright, so in Shakespeare's King John, during the king's barons describe his second redundant coronation as throwing perfume on the violet, or to gild refined gold to paint on the lily. You really didn't need to do that. That's overkill. I get it. To gild the lily, that's overkill. You really didn't need to do that again. You really didn't need to do that. Go so far. This is excessive. Alright, that's hilarious. Alright. What do we mean by the sixth sense? I saw the movie. Freaked me out at the end. The sixth sense. I think that has to do with like ESP. Or I don't know if it's seeing visions or reading tarot, but it's somewhere in that realm. Let's find out what this is all about. So, humans are credited with 5 senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. So, someone with a sixth sense is gifted with an unexplained perception outside of the common 5 senses. The expression sixth sense comes from a study of blind people reported in 1903, in which it was found that although deprived of sight, some of the subjects could perceive or sense certain objects in a room in a way that defied scientific understanding. I know that some people have always commented about me that when I walk, I have kind of a natural fast pace. And whenever I get close to a corner, I always seem to slow down. And people want to make fun of the fact that I slow down before peeking around the corner. There's always someone whizzing by from the other direction. And I can feel like the wind change, if that makes sense. So air pressure that changes, it pulls back your ears. You guys might know, you might know some of this. But I feel something in my shoulders and my inner elbows and my chest where I feel like something's coming. And that's got to be the gust of wind or the suction of wind in front of the person moving towards you, I think. It changes something. There's some kind of pressure change that I feel. So maybe they were feeling that. Or maybe they're sensing something in some other way. But I think we can be sensitive to vibrations if we actually paid more attention. We're just so used to drowning it all out. I think we could. Yeah, I think we could. There's something to that. I find that very interesting. How you doing over there, Msoul? Well, the think you are looking like you've had a bit too much sun. Maybe you need to swim back in and hydrate with your favorite something. Anyways, I know there's lots of water around us, but still you can get a bit thirsty out on the lake. Alright, Msoul. This is Venus Callida. I'm gonna wish you well, and hey, I'll see you next time. Bye.